absolutely getting hammered. So that is some of what we've seen so far. And right now, the battle for the top spot. Now here's Ivana Hung. She has had a rough and tumble road here in Philadelphia. She's often been named as someone who will be part of the mix in Beijing, but she hasn't seized her chances.
Yeah, everybody that we've seen so far, they're really the cast of characters that are going to be there. I mean, Nastia Lukin is going to be there. Shawn Johnson is going to be there. There are a number of athletes that are right on the fringe, and she is one of them.
And Ivana is definitely one of the athletes who, when to look at her, you recognize the beauty, the quality of her work. She's not flashy. What Marta Karolyi is hoping to see from her is a little more consistency.
She's got a lot of little balance checks here, and I spoke with Marta right before the event, and she said, I want her to be more aggressive. Don't doubt herself. And this, if you're going to doubt yourself, it comes on beam, and that is exactly what's happening here.
And we know from this scenario here at the trials that the girls are moving on to the camp in Houston, or outside of Houston. But the importance here is that she has to perform this under this kind of pressure. Judges, podium, audience.
Unbelievable.
And that is sort of what it's been like both at the National Visa Championships and here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
That could not have gone worse right there, because she's actually made that exact same mistake on that exact same dismount at crunch times in the past.
And she normally doesn't want to hear about it. Lives are changing here tonight in Philadelphia. Some with fate and some with destiny. This is Marta Karolyi, wife of Bella, of course. The women will be gathering at the Karolyi Ranch in Houston, Texas in a couple of weeks to make the final decisions on the team. And believe me, she sees everything.
Now, there is a whole selection committee, and you're seeing one of them right next to her, Steve Rybecki. Also, Christy Phillips serves as the athlete rep. But if you don't impress Marta, you don't get a ticket. No question. And remember, she said she has to be more aggressive today. Ivana needs to show me that she can do it under pressure in this situation, and she didn't.
Now, Nastia Lukin doesn't need to show her anything. She has shown the world everything except the Olympics. And you know, finishing in the top spot would be a big deal over Shawn Johnson. She trails Shawn by 0.25. Trained in the very same gym as Carly Patterson did on her way to winning a gold medal in Athens.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. She's been a senior gymnast for not even 4 full years. She has 9 world championship medals, and she is known worldwide. She has so many fans in the sport of gymnastics all over the world, because she kind of reminds people of a bygone era. You know, everything nowadays is trick, but she is somehow able to get enough difficulty, but also not forget about the artistry.
Green flag to go.
I've been watching Nastia very closely in practice, and some of the things that she's working on are just those extra little stretches and stuck positions, especially after combination skills like that. She's looking beyond here. Again, she's looking towards Beijing and how to make this routine that much more perfect.
Well, so far, if these judges found a deduction, I have no idea where it would be. It's very pretty. A signature move of Nastia. Hopes to have this named after her. Landing on one leg.
Beautiful.
So much better than night one.
Yes, it was.
In fact, in night one, the only area where she had any kind of mistake, the smallest.
Oh, boy.
And you know, that's a skill that she had practiced over and over again, surely for the flexibility to make it more perfect. Right here, the dismount.
Just that one small little mistake, but that is going to bring in a huge number.
We'll have that number in a moment. You really do have to have a closer's mentality. When something goes way wrong, you have to erase the hard drive. So we have Shawn Johnson and Nastia Liukin, and then we have the others on the fringe, like Ivana Hong, who has to somehow absorb a 14.45. And all these other women, in addition to those top two, have the same dream that they do.
The feeling that it would be to know that the entire works of my family, my coaches, myself, working my entire life to get to Beijing would just be amazing and incredible.
We've been working all our lives and we're this close now. I was just thinking the other day when I was watching 2004 Olympic trials, and now it's my turn here in 2008, so it's really exciting.
The girls that are here have worked their butts off and have worked so hard for so many years, and being able to go and represent our country would just be such an honor.
Standings after the second rotation, Nastia Liukin at least temporarily in front, although some of the events on which she does relatively less well are still upcoming, so she may have difficulty holding on to that number one spot. But in the category of foregone conclusions, Shawn Johnson and that young woman, Nastia Liukin, will be on the U.S. team. Now, Bella Caroli, in your view, Chelsea Memel, Alicia Sacramone, and Samantha Pesek should have spots 3 through 5. That leaves the 6th and final spot open. Who's got a shot at it?
Bob, I believe you're perfectly right. The third, fourth, and fifth position is kind of secured by these great athletes you mentioned. But the sixth spot, the sixth spot is out for sale, and it's high price. At this point, we will need an uneven pedal bar specialist for it, and also the same person gonna be an all-arounder in order to secure a replacement in the case of need.
So who's that?
I'm telling you, there are over 5 strong ladies in there. Of course, Ivana Hong and Jana Bigger are still in great contention. Sheila Worley, Bridget Sloan, and the little Jessie Davis, bless her heart, she came just from the middle of the nowhere. No, she's on the 4th place. Great.
Well, Worley, Sloan, and Hong have had a few stumbles, whereas Bigger has been clean to this point.
Bigger came in much more, with more nerves and more strength tonight than anybody else. Ivana already made a couple of mistakes, so her chances are slim at this point. But definitely, Jana Bigger is the one who is at this point the closest to that 6th place.
All right, Bella, we'll check back with you later. Right now, here's Al.
Okay, Bob, of the women that you and Bella were just talking about, Jana Bigger has the highest score in these Olympic trials. Here's what we think we know, Tim Daggett and Elfie Schlegel. The projected U.S. Olympic team. Nastia Liukin, Shawn Johnson, and the events that they're most strong at. Alicia Sacramone has worked her way into the mix as well. And on the uneven bars, do we put Chelsea Memel at this point?
Yeah, you do that, but you add an exclamation mark at the end of it.
Back in the first rotation, Chelsea Memel may have cemented this spot because she looked so good. Here's what happened just a few minutes ago here in the Wachovia Center, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
And you know, Chelsea had told us that she had a plan this entire year. She knew what her strengths were. She and her dad had planned this out. They've been very calculated about the trainings and competitions, and she is, in her mind, right on track.
Yeah, you know, and she's a world champion in the all-around. She's a world champion on this event right here. And I think that kind of gives her a little bit more say than somebody else because, you know, there was a point a couple of months ago when a lot of people were writing her off, and even Marta Caroli said that she was a little bit disappointed. But with routines like this, and when you got a resume like Chelsea Memel,
you can't not look.
Add her to the chart.
Hey, Dad, our lives just changed. Remember, she's done everything in the sport, won every type of medal, individual, team, but those were at the World Championships and in the United States. And that score, 16.4 on the uneven bars. When we come back, we will see Chelsea Memel try to keep it going on one of the most mentally challenging apparatus, the balance beam. This is the 2008 Olympic Trials. Back in Philly, Chelsea Memel gets the green flag, and symbolically not only for this routine, but for a trip to the Olympics, most likely.
She has her biggest test coming up right at the top, right here. Dead on.
You know, Tim, there's only a handful of gymnasts who have this gift, this mental gift to work an event like this.
And the one thing they cannot duplicate at the Caroli Ranch is this atmosphere. I feel like every gymnast in America is in this room.